Hello folks, we come to the exercise 7.4 and we will now take up the part 1. In this exercise we are taking up another concept which is called as combinations. What we did earlier was permutation. In the very first exercise we did fundamental principle of counting, then we did permutation. Now we will be taking up combinations. And before we take up combination, one small rule that we all should be remembering is that see, we did earlier NPR and we learned that NPR is n factorial by n minus r factorial. Now here wherever we take combinations, permutations is more about arrangements and combination is more about choice. How do you choose things? So it's on the structure of the question that we will be able to understand whether it's a permutation problem or whether it's a combination problem. And whenever we do a combination problem, here that P is for permutation, and suppose we are doing a combination problem, we will take NCR and then the formula changes. Formula comes up as for NCR it's n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. That r factorial is extra as compared to the NPR. So in cases where we will be taking this C, we should be careful about this formula. We will be using it at occasions. So that's how it is. Directly let's start with the exercise 7.4 part 1. Let's see the first question. What does it say? If NC8 equal to NC2, find NC2. They say that NC8 equal to NC2. You need to find what is NC2. They ask us to find NC2. Nothing great, whatever is the formula as we learned there, let's substitute and let's see what comes up. So if NC8 equal to NC2 by formula, this is n factorial by n minus 8 factorial into 8 factorial. Directly we are applying the definition, n factorial by 2 factorial into n minus 2 factorial. And then we have to solve it, and from here we will be able to get the value of NC2. Now, the advantage over here is this n factorial is there because they are the same quantities, they can cancel from both sides. And let's have the n's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So, probably you will have n minus 2 factorial by n minus 8 factorial, and this 8 factorial we could shift there. So, it will become 8 factorial by 2 factorial. We can have this converted amongst n minus 2 and n minus 8. Obviously n minus 8 is smaller and n minus 2 is bigger, so we will have to use a factorial property in that way. This can be written as 2 factorial into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7 into 8, and the 2 factorial here. So also this will be n minus 2 factorial into n minus 3 into n minus 4 and so on, n minus 8. This is n minus 8 factorial into n minus, let's have it properly. N minus 8 factorial is a smaller number, so therefore it will be like n minus 8 factorial into n minus 7 into n minus 6 into n minus 5 and so on till you reach n minus 2, and here it is n minus 8 factorial, which is going to cancel from both sides. Irrespectively they will cancel. We are left with n minus 7, n minus 6, n minus 5, n minus 4, n minus 3, n minus 2, and on this side we are left with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Your common sense will suggest you to multiply this and then find the value of n, but that's not a very good method that we can adopt over here. What we will on the contrary apply in order to get this is on the left hand side you can look at the biggest value or the smallest value and equate it to the biggest and smallest value on the right hand side. That is one strategy of solving and getting the value of n, so that we can avoid those lengthy calculations. Now on the left hand side, among so many terms in the product, it's very clear to us that n minus 7 is the smallest number. Now how do you otherwise get to know it? Is just substitute some value of n, maybe n is 10 or so. So we know 10 minus 7 is 3, but 10 minus 2 is 8. Which suggests that this is the smallest number, like that. So we find out which is the smallest. So over here n minus 7 is smallest, and from here obviously it's clear that a3 is the smallest. Or you find out the biggest number. The biggest number is n minus 2, here the biggest number is 8. Catch hold of either the biggest numbers or the smallest number, equate them, and from there get the n value. So we can here probably we are equating the smaller ones. N minus 7 is equal to 3, because when you have a products on both sides, same number of products, this is also one way of doing the finding out the values. So the 7 can go on the other side. 3 plus 7, 10. The value of n is 10. Having got the value of n as 10, we can find out NC2 they have asked us. So let's find out what is NC2, which means 10C2, which is 10 factorial by 2 factorial into 8 factorial by formula, and that is 8 factorial into 9 into 10 by 2 factorial, which is 2 itself. So you can have 2 maybe 5 times. So 45 as your answer. So NC2 is actually 45 as the answer comes. Many things that have gone into it. So this is how we go about doing it. Question number 2 is also identical. Let's see it. Determine n if determine n if 2nC3. I hope I write it correctly. 2nC3 is 2. They say 2nC3 is 2, nC3 is 12 is to 1. nC3 is 12 is to 1. Okay. Ratio, we know it's division. So 2nC3 by formula, or rather this means that 2nC3 by nC3 is 12 by 1. That's what it suggests. So let's right away put the formula. Numerator 2n factorial by 3 factorial n minus r, that means 2n minus 3 factorial over n factorial 3 factorial n minus 3 factorial, and this is 12 by 1. We've been doing earlier also that if you have numerator denominator, then numerator can cancel, denominator can cancel. So like that you can have this 3 factorial and 3 factorial cancelling, and these two in turn can be simplified. So 2n minus 3 is a smaller number. So 2n minus 3 factorial into 2n minus 2 into 2n minus 1 into 2n. That's how this can get simplified. And you have 2n minus 3 factorial here. And this is overall, again, n minus 3 is a smaller number into n minus 2 into n minus 1 into n by n minus 3 factorial. And here 12 by 1 remains unchanged. Now what's the advantage? This and this can cut, this and this can cut. What are we left with? 2n minus 2 times 2n minus 1 times 2n by n minus 2 times n minus 1 into n is 12 by 1. Now this is also like cancelable, many things. If you carefully see, this is as good as writing 2 times n minus 1. What is the advantage? This and this can cut. Again, what is the advantage? N and n can cut. What are we left with? 4 times 2n minus 1. And there is a denominator n minus 2, which we can push it on the other side. 12 times n minus 2. If you are watchful, you can take the 4 on the other side and cut this. 4 3 times is 12. So we have 2n minus 1 is 3 times n minus 2, which can open 3n minus 6. Everything on one side, n on one side, and number on the other. So 3n minus 2n is on one side, minus 1 is already there, the minus 6 is coming here, it's becoming plus 6, like that n is becoming 5. The value of n is 5 over here. So in the subpart 1, we have the value of n coming up as 5, and subpart 2 is very identical to this. The left hand side is the same, only the right hand side is changing. You have 2nC3 is to nC3 becoming 11 is to 1. So because we have done it so elaborately, maybe from this step onwards we can catch, and then we can start doing our work. See, this can simplify as maybe like this: 4 times 2n minus 1 by n minus 2. It can simplify just one step ahead, we have done it. So like this is how it is simplifying. So from this step onwards we can see what is happening. So this can go on the other side. 4 times 2n minus 1 is 11 times to n minus 2. 11 times n minus 2. Let all this open up and see what happens. 8n minus 4 is 11n minus 22. The numbers on one side, n on the other. So plus 8n can go on the other side. It will become minus 8n. Minus 4 is already there. The minus 22 can come here. It will become plus 22. So what will happen? This will become 3n and this will become 18. Yes, 18. So what will happen to the n value? N is 18 by 3, which is 6. Earlier case we got it as 5, now we are getting it as 6, as easy as that. So this is how we are going to go about solving the thing. We'll try to use the factorial properties as much as possible so as to get the values of the given numbers. That should be all in this video. We'll take up the remaining questions in the next video. Thank you.